back to my channel. My name is Marissa for those who are new here, and thank you so much for watching. In today's video, we're doing something a little bit new. We're going to be showcasing two different looks that will be like grungy fall winter that maybe you could recreate for this upcoming holiday season. Honestly, I was inspired to do this when I did my makeup declutter. I found some very colorful items that I haven't really used in a while, so that's kind of inspired me to do these looks. The first one will be this brown look, and then the second one will definitely be a lot bolder. This one I feel like is a little bit more everyday, and I think the other one is definitely bold / like special occasion and, you know, just for funsies. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button if you do, and let's go ahead and get started on. Okay, I got you guys zoomed in, and we're gonna start with the brown look. I have a baby shower to go to, so a lot of this is gonna be pretty quick, and especially since this is a two-parter. I won't talk through a whole lot of the products. I'll just kind of just show you what I used to create it. I may kind of comment on some things. We're gonna start with foundation. No surprise here, the Revlon Illuminance Skin Caring Foundation, and this is in the darker shade 301. I'm just gonna honestly just do a light layer. I feel like my skin's looking pretty good right now. I wanna have a nice glowy and radiant base. And I may have to actually do a second layer. That pump didn't cover a whole lot. Okay, I'm going second pump. So what really inspired me to do this kind of video is actually my makeup declutter video, which if you haven't seen, I'll link up in the eye and down below. And as I was going through my collection, I found products that I didn't really use a whole lot. Like I used them before, but kind of haven't used them in a while. And they were fairly colorful products, and then these two looks kind of came to mind because of, you know, the fall season, especially the weather is now feeling more like fall here in Texas, and then of course winter. And I wanted to push myself a little bit outside of my comfort zone, you know? And what a better time to do so. Sometimes I need a couple layers of that foundation just to kind of, again, even out my skin tone. Okay, for concealer, this is actually a new one, and I got this in the Sephora VIP sale, and that is the Natasha Denona was it High Glam Concealer, and I have it in the shade N3. Huge doe foot. I'll give more of my thoughts on this concealer in future speed reviews. And while I let that sit for a little bit, I'm going to go into my Revolution Soap Brow and then the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil and just take care of my brows. I like to do this because it lets my concealer sit for a little bit, which allows it to kind of settle and in turn become a little bit more full coverage, because that concealer claims to be medium. I do that with all of my concealers. I think at some point I do need to do my brows, like reshape them, you know? Like today is a pretty good brow day. All right, gonna blend out that concealer. Didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, so I need to cover my dark circles. Okay, for cream bronzer, I'm gonna go into the Makeup Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer, and this is in light. Good drugstore. I'm kind of mixing both like drugstore and high-end. I tend to do that. I have mostly drugstore items, but with the recent Sephora sale, I have a couple more high-end items that I'm testing. Okay, for cream blush, I'm gonna go into, where'd it go? There it is. I'm going to go into the e.l.f. Putty Blush, and this is in the shade Bali. It's really pretty brown color. I feel like it'll go really well with our theme we got going on, which is browns. And I'm just going to I'm not going to go too crazy because I think I'm going to go pretty heavy on the eyes. Going to add a little blush. First add a little on the nose. I feel like it just balances everything out on my face. And I like taking my blush really, really high. I just think it looks really flattering on my face shape. Okay, I am going to go and I'm going to kind of set all of this, and I'm going to go into the Kosas Cloud Set Powder, and this is in the shade Comfy. It's just a little mini of this. The under eyes first. All right, and I'm going to go in to a bigger fluffy brush and set the whole face. I feel like this powder is just so smoothing. All right, it's coming together. I think my base looks really good. Now for powder bronzer, I'm going to go into the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer, and then I have it in the shade Medium, and just add some color back in if I find the right brush. Cream's definitely popped through the powder, Kosas powder, but I like just kind of layering because it helps last longer. And since I'm going to an event, I definitely want my makeup to last. All right, for a powder bronzer, I'm going to go into the Ulta Beauty Flush Blush, and this is in the shade Sweet as Honey. This is definitely a little bit more peachy. It definitely has a little bit more pink to it, but once it's on, it leads more orange and more peachy. So I'm going to just add a little bit of this. Nothing crazy. I just know what I have in mind with my eyes. I don't want to go too overboard with the blush, which is why I'm going more neutral. Oop, I kind of went a little overboard. But yeah, there is a little bit of a pinky tone to it, but I feel like it's definitely peachy. And then when I feel like I go a little too overboard, which I feel like I did on this side a little bit, just take my powder brush, kind of go over it. Okay, for highlight, no surprise here. I'm just going to go into my Glow Clean Beam highlight. Ton of different tones in it, but I think I'm going to kind of mix between these two right here. Just gives a nice healthy glow. I don't think it's too shiny. Granted, you can build this up and get, you know, get as shiny where the people on the moon can see you. Yeah. So far so good. This is coming together really good. I feel like everything's blending really well. I feel like my skin looks so healthy. Okay, for the eyes, I am leaning more towards just like definitely browns, of course. And I have two eyeshadow palettes, and I also have a cream shadow, of course, eyeliners. So I may not use this. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I have the No Budge Cream Eyeshadow, and this is in Sand Dune as maybe to start as a base. Or I have the It's a Mood palette from ColourPop. There's some browns in here I can definitely use. Wow, this takes up the whole screen. I have some browns in here I can definitely use. Or I just got this as well, and that is the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. And definitely have browns in here as well. So I think there's more browns in here. And just with how everything's going, I don't know if I want to do a cream shadow. So I may leave that one out. So I'm just going to go I'm going to go into this palette, and I'm going to start actually into this shade right here. I believe that is shade EE9, and I'm going to blend that into the crease. I'm just going to slowly build that up. Again, just a little bit of a base. And then what I always like to do is take that same crease shade, put it on my under eye, and that also helps kind of settle my fine lines a little bit. I also like to bring it kind of into my nose a little bit to kind of contour that area a little bit. I feel like it's coming off a little bit warmer than it is in person. So I'm actually going to go into this more cool tone shade to kind of tone that down a little bit. It's definitely one of the more warmer shades in the palette. Ooh, I kind of went a little overboard with that. When that happens, I take the eyeshadow brush I used to kind of set my under eyes, which has some powder on it. I try to like blend that a little bit without adding extra like powder. If it gets like way too out of control, I'll add some powder to kind of help with that. And you know what? I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do. I'm actually gonna go to my lips because I want to see honestly just how dark we're gonna be, and so I can kind of gauge how crazy, how shiny and how smoky I'm gonna go. So for my lips, I have the NYX Professional Suede Matte Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Cold Brew. So it is a brown shade, which I really like, and I'm just gonna line my lips. I'm also gonna go ahead and fill them in. I don't tend to really like overline my lips a whole lot, so this is really emphasizing like my lip size and actually how asymmetrical my lips are, to be honest. And then if I go a little too outside, take my concealer brush, clean that out a little bit. And for lipstick, I'm actually gonna go into the Milani lipsticks, and this is in the shade Desire. I believe this is their matte formula. Again, also brown. Super pretty, right? Yeah, that's really, really pretty. Okay, so that tells me that I have the right tone with that. Gosh, it just, oh, I'm so excited. No, I was gonna go into this shade here, but I feel like that might be too much. And so I'm gonna go into this shade right here, and I'm gonna just go in with my finger and tap that all over the lid. And then I might go into one of my Super Shocks. I bet you can guess, if you've been watching me for a while, I bet you can guess which one. Oh, I kind of just like how that is. There's a little bit of sparkle, but nothing crazy. You know, I was kind of surprised. I wasn't like 100% sure if I was going to use this palette for this look today, but it's turning out really nicely and exactly what I wanted. Always the trick is getting them even. Ooh, that looks so good. Okay. For the inner portion, I'm gonna go into this shade right here, and I'm gonna put that in the brow bone and inner portion of my eye. This look is like going completely different than I thought I was gonna do. I thought I was just gonna go for it, but I think with just the lip, I feel like on my face it'd just be too much. And I mean, I'm gonna add eyeliner, so it'll be still fairly bold. I'm liking how this is turning out, and this is so out of my comfort zone, but I am loving it. Okay, so eyeliner. All right, I'm gonna go into the NYX Epic Wear Waterproof Liquid Liner, and this is in the shade Brown, and it's got one of those brush kind of applicators, and I'm just gonna go, hopefully, very, very tiny line. I'm not really like a winged liner girl. I'm not the best at it, and I also don't think it looks that good on me. So at least I like to put like a little bit of a line. So I think it just does a good job of like defining my eyes. Whew. And take a deep breath. Okay. I'm gonna actually let that dry down a little bit. I'm gonna go into some setting spray, and I'm gonna use the Milani Make It Last setting spray. No surprise here, because it's my favorite to use if I need my makeup to last. It also kind of tones down the powderiness and makes it feel like more of a natural or matte finish. Yeah, I feel like it's really coming together. It's definitely, obviously, the brown is the focal point, but I'm not done. For mascara, I'm going to go into the Tower 28 Making Moves mascara. Got a mini, so I've been testing this out, and actually I really like it. I'm going to coat the lashes. I haven't decided if I'm going to put it on my lower lash line just yet. Yeah, that mascara is just like, boom, we're going to curl. All right, I'm going to go on the lower lash line. Again, nothing crazy, just to kind of define them a little bit, balance out the long lashes up top. Alrighty. Ooh, so pretty. All right, for eyeliner, For like gel eyeliner, I'm going to go into the Essence Extreme Lasting Eye Pencil. And this is in But First Espresso. I'm going to tight line. I really like this eyeliner because I love the color. It's true like chocolate, deep chocolate brown. Okay, and then I'm going to go into the waterline. Definitely made it a little more bold. But I feel like this is very wearable. Yeah, so you see how like where I was going with the eyes, like if I had like really bold cheeks, I feel like it would just, I would get real clowny real quick. And sometimes I feel like if it gets a little too dark in the inner corner after you do an eyeliner like that, I'll go back into the brush I use for my inner corner highlight. Not necessarily add more product, but I'll kind of brush over it to kind of smooth that out just a little bit. That's the only thing, like with this lipstick, it's not 100% transfer proof. Like I just took a sip of water and you can kind of, you can kind of see it on there. It's not horrible though. When you wear, I feel like when you wear a lipstick this kind of color or just this bold, I feel like you kind of expect it to get on things. But yeah, so here is the final look. Let me just kind of zhuzh my hair a little bit. Yeah, so this is the final look. It's a little less bolder than I was gonna do, but I really love it. I feel like it's very grungy, but it feels very fall. I just love the eyes. I love how brown it's making my eyes look. Like I'm not even wearing black eyeliner. And I just feel like it's very like grungy and bold. And then of course the lip is definitely outside my comfort zone from every day. And I think it just looks really good. And it feels really comfortable. So I really like those Milani lipsticks. And they're viral for a reason. So I really like it. So this is the first like fall / winter grungy look. You'll have to let me know what you think. Okay, we are on to the second look. I'm just putting some Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss just to moisturize my lips a little bit. Okay, so for this look, I was kind of thinking going into more of the purpley tones. And again, I think I mentioned this earlier. This is this was inspired by like my makeup declutter, and I found some products that I haven't used in a while, and I wanted to kind of push the envelope and have it be a little bit more colorful. So in today's look, I'm gonna go in for the purple. I got a purple sweatshirt on. I don't know if I'll go this purple, but I have some options here. I have the It's Mood palette from ColourPop, which has very fall tones as well as some purples. I have some new products that I have been wanting to test out, as well as some old favorites, and also just kind of a I don't know, it's kind of a hodgepodge. I honestly just was wanting to just play with makeup. It's later in the evening, and since I'm doing a more bold look, I figured why not do it in the evening. I'm feeling pretty good. Here, I'm just gonna kind of push my hair back and just kind of, again, play with makeup and see where this takes me. Kind of like how the first look, the brown look, don't have anywhere to be. I can just play and go crazy. So for primer, I'm going to go into the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is the original. And I'm just going to prime my face. Again, we'll see where this takes me. And like the whole like point of this like little, I don't want to say mini series because it's just going to be one video, but in a sense a mini series is to kind of get outside my comfort zone, push myself creatively, and hopefully inspired you to dive into products you already have and go bolder with your looks. So I wanted to use the original putty primer over the liquid one, even though I really like the liquid one. I want to go really, really matte, I'm thinking, or definitely leaning towards matte with this look. So this one is a lot more matte looking. Oh, fun. I got a little friend joining us right there. That's great. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. Feels like it's pretty much in. That's one thing I do like about putting this primer, either the original or the liquid, with a brush, is that it kind of settles in really quickly. And so that's kind of nice. Got my tea with me. All right, for foundation, I have two, which is odd because I'm not typically a foundation girl. I'm turning into one though. So I have the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation, their natural finish longwear foundation. I got this in the Sephora VIB sale. If you haven't seen that video where I'm testing out all new Sephora products, or at least new to me Sephora products, check that out. That's when I first initially tested this foundation out, and I like it. I'm still kind of figuring my thoughts out. Speed reviews will be coming, so I can give you the full rundown. And then I grabbed this. This is the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Blur Smooth Tint Stick Foundation. I have this in the shade 7. The Sephora one is in 17.5. I'm thinking I'm just going to go in with the Sephora one, and I'm going to leave this for another time. I may do a short specifically on this. The reason why is because I'm really curious on how this foundation is going to react on top of my primer, because the first time I used it, I didn't use a primer. I just kind of went in, and so I'm going to go with a pump. Actually, that's a decent sized pump. I like this foundation. I'm just not 100% sure that I love it. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to grab this and put this on top of the e.l.f. It's one thing, I feel like on camera it's looking like it's providing more coverage than it actually is in person. Don't get me wrong, it's toned down a lot of redness, but it hasn't like fully covered my pimples. It hasn't fully covered my redness. Okay, just because it's going to be a really, I think it's going to end up turning real glam, I'm going to add another pump. All right, for concealer, I have this mini that I've been kind of testing out. It is the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. It's a little mini, and this is in the shade 13N. This one I'm still figuring out my thoughts on. I don't like the applicator. I feel like it's too stiff in my opinion. I chose this particular concealer because this is I'm gonna go pretty bold on the eyes, and since it's purple, I don't want to obviously bring out my dark circles, and so I want to go really bright. Okay, while that's set, I'm going to go into my Makeup Revolution Soap Brow and then my NYX Micro Brow Pencil for my brows. Okay, brows are on. There's nothing really different I do with my brows, so I don't go too crazy with them. I'm just going to blend in the concealer really quick. Yeah, that really like blanked everything out, which is good because that's what I needed to do. Okay, for cream bronzer, I'm going to go into the e.l.f. cream bronzer in the shade Honey Drip. This one is a very cool toned bronzer, and with the direction I'm kind of going with this, I think I'm wanting something a little more cool toned. Also with this look, I think I want the lips and the eyes to be the major focal points, and so I don't need to go too harsh with the bronzer, and this one is great for that because to really get it to be a stark like contour, you have to layer it a ton, at least for me, and like what my preferences are. Does it look bad? Like you can tell like already I didn't put a whole lot on there and it's already pretty sculpted. I do like how it seems to be like concealer's working well with the foundation's working well with the primer, so we're off to a good start. Okay, for blush, I have a new shade of a formula I've been really liking, and that is from About Face, and this is their Cheek Freak Blush Balm. And this is in the shade Smash. And this is like a red burgundy. Almost looks purpley to me. Ooh, it's leaning definitely a lot more red on camera, but it has a little bit of a purple tone to it. So this just kind of gives you an idea of the direction I'm going in. This is a BH Cosmetics number 4 brush. It's like a little duo fiber kind of brush. And so I'm just going to go in. I'm not going to go too crazy because this formula goes like far. So again, like the cheeks aren't the focal point, but I still want them to be tied, you know, together with the look, you know? I think that just the formula is so smoothing on the face. Yeah, I think it's a really pretty color. Very like wintry feeling to me. And that's like the thing with this look is very, I feel like it's pushing very non-traditional holiday look. Really like this. I really like this formula. This is my second shade in that. So look, yeah, it's, when I found that shade that I really wanted to try, I was really tempted to get multiples. Trying to be really thoughtful about the shades I'm bringing in because I want to use them. So now I'm actually going to set everything. I'm going to go into the NYX Mineral Matte Finishing Powder. I really like this stuff. This makes my skin look so smooth. And I'm curious how this powder is going to look on top of both the concealer and the foundation. I haven't tried that before. But again, we're just playing. Just going to kind of go in here. I try not to go too far over. Okay, so that's powdered, not powdered. I think it looks pretty good. And now I'm going to set the rest of my face with that same powder. I'm still figuring out if I'm like team loose powder, if I'm team press powder. I feel like I can make both work, you know, because I've found powders in both that make my skin smooth, which I really like, set it, and as well as still look like skin, you know? I love that that blush still pokes through pretty much any powder. Yeah, my base, I really like how my base is looking. We're gonna go into the matte bronzing powder, and this is in the shade medium. This is a great matte bronzer I like to dip into because to me, it's not too overboard. It still makes your skin look smooth. If you want it to be very, very like contoury and really sculpt your face more than like bronze it, you really have to build it up. And I think for this look, again, I don't want the emphasis to be necessarily on the cheeks, but I want it to still look like tied together, you know? Okay, so I'm not gonna do a powder blush. I thought I might need it, but I think I am okay. And I'm not gonna do highlight, kind of sticking with the matte look in terms of the base. So we're gonna go into the eyes, and the first thing, kind of got a couple of things. So I have some eyeliners I'm going to use. I have some shadow sticks I'm going to use. And so this new shadow stick I have is from About Face. And this is their Pearly eyeshadow stick. And this is in Actual Ambrosia. This is a like cool tone bronzy shade, which is really interesting to me. I feel like it's got some interesting tones to it, and it's got purpley undertones there. That looks so pretty, and it's in a crayon form, which I really like. So I think I'm going to definitely use that. And then to complement with it, I have the No Budge Matte Shadow Stick in Cool Beans. This will maybe just go on like the outside to kind of complement it. You can kind of see good complement. Not going to go too crazy. And then I have some purple eyeliner from ColourPop. They're cream gel liners. One's Visuals and then the other's Charmer that I might dive into. And then of course I have a liquid liner to kind of just line everything. Also, I have the It's a Mood palette, so if I need to like blend out a crease or anything, which I think I'm going to do actually. I'm going to start with this shade here. And And this is called Night Call. And I think I'm going to put that as like my crease shade before I go into the cream shadows. Might be a mistake, but again, we're just playing, so I'm going to start with that. I'm just going to go into this ColourPop E22 brush. Again, very, very small. Now, I could have gone in with the cream shadows first and then layered this to like blend everything out, but honestly, I like starting with a base of some sort. Like, I feel like that's a good start, and then I always can add later. All right, I'm going to go in to the About Face shadow stick, and I'm going to start on the inner portion. So this is the first time I'm using her About Face's shadow stick formula, and it is really creamy. I don't even feel like I need to like blend it out, which is super nice. It's really pretty silvery color. It's not exactly a color I go for a ton. Yeah, I don't even feel like I need to like use a brush to like blend those out. That's really pretty, and that's really easy. Like, yeah, so that's a shadow stick. All right, I'm gonna ground everything out. Or on the outer corner, I'm gonna go into the e.l.f. Cool Beans. Okay, I'm gonna start with that, and then I'm gonna blend it out, and I'm gonna like pack first and then blend. Those melded together really nicely. Again, I didn't want too crazy, but I'm gonna go back into that Night Call shade to blend this top section. So I'm gonna have to go back in, and sometimes this happens, honestly, and so I just end up going like back and forth, trying to wing it out like a little bit, but nothing crazy. And I'm gonna go into that Cool Beans shade on the lower lash line, just like on that outer section. I think that'll help. Ooh, I hope I'm in focus. I hope that was all in focus. And then again, I'm gonna kind of pat. I'm gonna go back into the About Face shadow stick. And I just re-blend here. I'm gonna just kind of do the other side, and then I'll see if I need to like add something. Okay, that looks so much better. Yeah, it's great how like the About Face, like if you don't really want to, you don't have to use a brush to kind of blend it. You can just kind of draw it on and be done, you know? Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is, I may not necessarily put this on the brow bone, but I think for the inner corner, I'm gonna go into this shade here, which is called Thunder. I just feel like it looks a little unfinished, you know? I feel like if I do anything up in the brow bone, it needs to be really, really, really bright, and I don't think I have a bright enough shade for that, but that's okay. Alrighty, for mascara, I'm going to go into the Tower 28 Making Waves mascara. This is a mascara that makes your eyelashes really, really bold. But like, look at the side by side, like it does make your lashes bold, that's for sure. Okay, mascara on. Now for eyeliner, I'm gonna go into the Physicians Formula Eye Booster on the top lash line. I should have done this before mascara, but I find it's easier after, you know? I'm not like an expert at eyeliner at whatsoever. So, all right, for the cream gel liners, I think I'm going to use both. I'm going to use Charmer. I'm going to put it to Tightline, because why not? Interest, you can barely see it, but I feel like, especially when you do like black or brown, it really makes a difference. So I really like, I'm looking at it like really closely as like the looks kind of coming together. And I really like that shadow stick. And for the waterline, I'm going to go into Visuals. This is more of a true purple, and I think there's some shimmer in it too. Yeah. So I feel like we'll really bring out the purple in the shadows. So I like these like colorful cream gel liners because it just adds something. And it's not too bold. It can be really subtle. Okay, so that's the eyes. I feel like the eyes look really good. On to lips. I have one like true purple dark lip liner, and that is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil, and this is in Mamacita, and this is like dark purple, which I don't mind. I like it. I like to dip into it every now and then. And I have 3 lipstick options, which I'm going to swatch on my hand to kind of get an idea of, you know, maybe I don't need to use the lip liner. The lip liner is definitely purple, but it's leaning a little more red. Okay, so the first option is the one right next to the lip liner, and that is the NYX Suede Matte Lipstick. That's this one right here, and this is in the shade Vintage. And that's, again, it's purpley, but it's definitely leaning more red. And then this is, the next one over is the Villains Ursula Matte ColourPop Lipstick. And that's this one right here. As you can see, they're practically identical. And then this last one is the Chanel Rouge Allure Ink in Experimente. This one I think is too red, so I don't think I'm going to go with that one. And so it's more of determining between these two. I'm going to put on the lip liner first and then maybe just kind of decide from there. Whoa. Okay, I think I decided I'm going to go into the NYX Suede Matte Lipstick in Vintage and just kind of fill out the center. I think that looks really good. So, ooh, that is the final look. Oh, I just realized I didn't have any earrings on. Oh, well. Yeah, so that's the final look. Very bold, but I feel like the eyes aren't like getting outshadowed, or I feel like the lipstick's not outshadowing the eyes. I feel like my cheeks look really good. It's not too overpowering. I do think that About Face blush kind of faded over here on this side. But overall, I'm happy with how this turned out. Like, I had a vision in my head, and I feel like I accomplished it. I feel like this is a great, different, wintry holiday look. I still feel like it's holiday without being like the traditional like red lip or, you know, super glam. This I think would be great for New Year's, as long as your significant other and partner is okay with getting some purple lipstick on them. I really like the eye look. I think I can change it up where I can do a different color, like crease color, and you can go a little more blue, maybe a little more green. I feel like this is really versatile in terms of like the base, and I feel like my skin looks really smooth. It's definitely different for me for going matte. I usually like a more glowy look, but I'm happy with it. I feel like I could definitely wear this to an event and I would be completely comfortable with it. I feel like my teeth look a little bit whiter. That's one thing you have to be really careful with, is making sure you have like a blue undertone of any lipstick, honestly. Any bold lipstick, I should say, because then otherwise your teeth will look yellow. But overall, like, I feel like this look is really, really cool and really different. And I'm really happy that I was inspired to make it. Like, I feel like I could definitely recreate this and use this again for a different event or whatever. So yeah, so I'm going to zoom you guys out real quick and we'll finish out this video. I really hope you enjoyed me creating these two looks. This one, I feel like, again, you can definitely use it and you can definitely change it to maybe colors you prefer instead of maybe purple. You can go blue, you can go green, and I feel like it'll be a really beautiful look. I hope this inspired you to kind of push yourself and go a little bit bolder for this holiday season. I know this has definitely inspired me to do so, and also, you know, touch some products I haven't touched in a while in my collection. That's one of the great things about Makeup Declutters. You discover things you haven't used in a while. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't as like purpley as like this sweatshirt, but I feel like it's really wintry. I feel like I can take this into, to the new year. It could be great for New Year's. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. I really loved the About Face Shadow Stick. I think the formula was really nice. I think the foundation worked well with both my powder and my primer. I think the combo of vintage from NYX and this Mamacita lip liner looked really good. I think if you want to throw on a gloss, I do have like a silvery gloss you can throw on top of it if you wanted to add a little bit more to it and make it a little more glossy. I feel like the brown one and this one, you can definitely mix it up into make it more your style and still make it feel like you, but also a little bit bolder. Yeah, I'm so excited with how this turned out. And yeah, like it's different. I feel like it's a little bit more vampy and like grungy, but it still's got a little bit of glam to it. Like, yeah, I feel like I'm really surprised. I was like visualizing again in my head of what this look was going to look like, and I feel like I pretty much accomplished it. And yeah, I'm so excited. Again, I hope this inspires you to again go bolder this holiday season, and I hope you are having a good one so far. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, this series of going bolder with some different colors. Let me know down below if you want me to kind of do this again, but maybe different colors, or, let me know down below. Either hit the like button or a comment what you think I should do, like my next 2 colors I should do. And yeah, I hope you subscribe if you are new here and join Little Families Growing here on YouTube. And of course, follow me on Instagram for more up-to-date day-to-day stuff that goes on. And yeah, I'm gonna go finish my tea and just really enjoy this look. I feel like I should have done this for like date night, and I wish I had somewhere to go, but you know what? That's one thing I do like as well is sometimes at night and when I'm feeling inspired, I will just come in here and just play, because like that's the great thing about makeup is that you can just wash it off if you don't like it, right? It's not permanent. So yeah, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.